Yes, I know you want to know more about these results that I'm going to show you from a store through Shopee, but I'm going to do even better. In addition to showing these results that I'm sharing now on my screen, as you can see, in 2025, I also want to share how to sell on Shopee, not just that. I'll show the products that sold the most during this year to achieve this specific result and even recommend suppliers. So you can work through this platform, come with me. For those who don't know me, I'm Douglas Souza. I've been working with the internet for over 12 years. I started in 2012, made my first sale in 2013, and in 2014 I completely left my job. Yes, I said that famous goodbye boss. I even made a post at the time on the infamous Facebook. Yes, we used Facebook back then to say goodbye boss because I was really happy then. Over the years, I worked with various online businesses and prospered financially. No course or training launches, working quietly behind the scenes. The coolest part is I started all this a while ago, but I'm not that old. I'm 32 and started studying at 18 or 19, so I've been in the market for a while. But there were no marketplaces like Shopee or ways to set up a store like this without investing in ads. Organic traffic was strong when I started, but it was more complicated. Everything was done by creating mini sites to get a good ranking on Google. Nowadays, it's not like that. Nowadays, we have several marketplaces like Shopee that help anyone set up a store or even become a seller. In short, being an affiliate here and reaching results like this, over 1 million Rs in revenue. I'll discuss this store, its results, and profit margin more here. Since this is revenue, don't be misled, it's revenue. I don't romanticize the process on my channel. So today there are excellent opportunities like Shopee for you to actually start working with the internet. Stay until the end, as I'll discuss the products too. Supplier. How can you get access to a supplier to have a setup like this, sell, and not need to keep stock at your house? That's my main focus on this channel, just so you know. During this period, it was more than 1.2 million in revenue. The average profitability you can achieve working with the marketplace through Shopee is between 10 to 12% profit margin. I'm talking about the bottom line here, real profit, money in your pocket, or necessarily money in your company's pocket, right? So if we do a really quick calculation, a simple calculation, right? 1,245,832.68, what does that come to? Let's use 12, which is the average we had, 12. Okay, 149,499 in profit. That divided over a period of 12 months and the year isn't even over yet. So I'll take a wild guess, even though the year's not over yet, which is an average profitability of 12,458. That's per month, bottom line net profit. I like to show reality here to you. And you've probably already seen several people out there on the internet, Instagram, even here on YouTube itself talking about results like this. They glorify things instead of showing reality or actual profits. And obviously, you don't need to have just one store like this. You can have 2, 3, or even other projects on the internet which can boost what you're starting now. During this period, there were over 17,000 orders, and canceled orders are completely normal. Don't kid yourself. You will have canceled orders. And also, our conversion rate of 1.70 is a very high conversion rate. Normally, the average conversion rate is 1 or lower. Obviously, I'll show you last month's results here so you can see. I'm recording in December, but here's last month's result. 115,314. It's very satisfying. This is reality, not an illusion. Real entrepreneurship is selling and delivering your own products. I'll show you which products sold the most during this period so you can see what affects sales on Shopee. The best-selling product was this one right here. That's right, a bubble gun. This has gone viral not just with kids, as you might imagine, but with everyone. It's at wedding parties, birthday parties, graduations, and specific events where they use this bubble gun to make the party even more fun. I was recently at a wedding, and our role as groomsmen was to use these bubble guns, which, by the way, was probably bought from this store to make the party even more lively, and of course for the couple who was getting married. And the second best-selling product during this period was obviously Bob Goods. The Bob Goods coloring book surprised many people. In terms of sales and revenue, it really delivered an incredible result. And it's really important for us to understand even when these hype products happen, right? Because basically the Bob Goods book was a hype product. It was a hype product because during the period, in the 3 months when it gained momentum, which was between April and May, wow, it sold a lot, but after that sales continued, though less consistently. Because what happens is that other suppliers end up having the same product and then consequently new sellers will want to sell it. The offers end up diluted. And within Shopee, just so you understand, and it's a process that's really important for you to understand. Even when you sell through Shopee, you have to be aware that you'll have to compete on price because within a marketplace, people already know what they want to buy. Even though Shopee runs ads for you and helps you sell organically, you have to understand that this process is normal. So you'll see competitors taking the product you're selling and wanting to sell it too and setting a lower price, and then this price war happens. Welcome to the real world. Real life isn't Disney. If you want to compete, expect competition. There's no point in wanting to sell products like this and thinking no one else will sell them. It doesn't make sense. And a very curious fact that I want to highlight is that these products being sold through this Shopee platform throughout 2025 are products you don't need to have at your house, in your warehouse, or in your office. They're basically national dropshipping products. That's right. And remember I mentioned that I was going to bring my supplier here? Well, this is my supplier right here. I know many of you already know Suarma's M-Drop because I've already mentioned Suarma's M-Drop here on my channel. But basically they have this huge amount of products. As you can see, there are many products and pages displayed on the screen. If I go to the set here, look at this. Look at how many products are available in stock here in Brazil. And you can sell through the Shopee platform, and even better, this supplier offers you the possibility to deliver a store like the one I just showed on Shopee, fully ready with product listings registered and integration completed on this platform. When I make a sale, it appears here in unpaid orders and I handle it. I add the balance here to my account and always place the order whenever a sale comes up. Of course, you have to double check the information, make sure your client's address is correct and the name is right. Then you process the order with just a few clicks. That order will already be at your supplier's logistics center and they will send the product directly to your client. In other words, your role is to sell. So you see, you understand how much things are different today, how different it is. Back when I started, there weren't opportunities like this. I even mentioned to my students at the independent school that I have a professional training course also in dropshipping, not only national like I'm showing here, but also international actually. For more info, check the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to learn about the independent school. But I even tell my students it doesn't make sense nowadays not to sell online. I'm not saying it's easy, but today we have more options to make it at least easier for you to get started. And that's one way. I'll share the link to my supplier, Mr. Armazon Drop, so you can have your store set up by them and ready to go. Of course, you have to pay a subscription so you can use the products, get product supply, and receive your store 100% ready through Shopee. He displays real-time metrics here, showing today's sales exceed 4,503. Then calculate the profit margin, which is 10 to 12. I made this video to explain the reality of selling on marketplaces. Yes, it's totally possible to start without needing to invest in ads. That's what's most interesting. And then you must be wondering, but Douglas, if I'm not going to invest in ads to promote my products, how am I going to sell as my own supplier? Through tutorials within their platform, they teach you how to best position your store on Shopee so that you always stay well ranked. In other words, Shopee itself will recommend you through its search engines. When you search for a product on Shopee, that top row of suggested items appears. That's how it works. That's how you're going to sell organically. But of course, you can also run ads, but understand that ads require you to spend money. Well, not spend, actually invest. As I said, all the information is in the link in the description. I like sharing transparent content that shows not just revenue or results, but also the net profit and bottom line. This profit margin can go up to 15, but I prefer to show the reality. The average profit margin is 10 to 12. How about you? Was this content clear and did it make sense? Leave it here in the comments section because I want to know your opinion. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up with content like this, which comes out every week here. At the end of the video, I'll leave 2 recommended videos here, personally chosen by me, that are related to the content I just shared. A big hug and goodbye.